suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. With crimson secrets and forbidden bliss, can't stay still, don't stop that thrill. My bones crave your skin, temptation within, mistakes ignite the silence. Nightmares creep while you and me repeat, this bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Of course, you're watching Surge Europe. My name is Kronos. And guess what? Tonight, I'm not going to be a caster. I'm going to be a host. I'm going to be hosting an exclusive interview, of course, with the founders from Surge themselves, Yaroslav and Andre. Apologies if I butchered the pronunciation. I checked 3 times, guys, before this. But of course, they are the founders of Surge. And here we are to discuss what Surge is bringing forward to Europe. And of course, everything everything else. So without any further ado, I'm gonna get straight into the money. Andre, first you. What is Surge? What is the organization? And what plans do you guys have in store?
Okay, thank you, Kronos, for a quick introduction, and thank you everyone for on this live stream watching. So first of all, Surge, it's an eye of the storm because we are taking the European market by the storm. And overall, basically, we are just gamers, ex-gamers that are aiming to bring the best possible experience in the mobile gaming field in the Europe, specifically V4 region, but now it's the whole region overall. And we are trying to build a very nice experience for the players themselves, but we are also trying to build a nice environment for the fans, for the viewers, and we are trying to bring more people from the PC gaming into the mobile gaming, as we think it's a market that's interesting and it's pretty accessible for everyone. So that's why it differs from the mobile gaming. So right now we built a nice structure. We are now aiming to bring more people in, and that's basically it. We will get to the more points very soon.
Go ahead, Yaroslav.
Kronos, first of all, thank you for being our host. We are really delighted to have you.
It's an honor.
And for Search, I think me and Onyo, we could be talking a lot about how it even started. We have to be even honest about that. We didn't really know the culture or the game before the last year World Championship, but we were so surprised in Saudi Arabia, like what kind of hype and the energy around Mobile Legends was there. And we started to do our due diligence. And after we found out that the Europe really lacks the esports ecosystem, we saw that this is something that really needs to change, because like we see this big opportunity. And since then we started to talk to the community. We did most of what we could in really short time, and we have to tell you, like the speed run we did, we are still feeling like we are at the beginning, but I think we gone pretty far.
That's actually really humble of you guys as well to kind of say that, you didn't know about the game. You kind of know it's the eye of the storm, and you're looking to take this game onto the next level, because I'm an avid lover of Mobile Legends Bang Bang, of course, as you guys know. And I think everybody else watching is as well. And Europe has such a big base for Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and you're right. It needs that highlight. It needs that structure. And I'm glad you guys found it when you went to the EWC as well. So first of all, before we get into some of the questions, right? I told you guys I'll throw you a little bit of curveballs here and there. Why the eye of the storm? Like, I understand you told me it's the first wave, but it's what brought in that name Surge?
So basically, I might start. It's we are all quite young, and we are really engaged and active. And basically, what we are trying to achieve is really in short period of time, and it's a lot of things. And we are like explosions. We first came with like one small idea, and now it's like 10, 20 ideas flowing every direction, and suddenly we have a nice team and a nice environment and doing multiple products and services. So basically it pretty much aligns with our identity, and we want to go like this. We want to set new trends, we want to go further, and we want to be specific and bring the new values that aren't here so far. So yeah, that's why it's Search, and that's why it's like Eye of the Storm. Maybe Yaro can introduce it a bit better, but from my point of view, it's like that.
I still remember the time when we were looking for the name of this project, and during the time of searching for the name, we were thinking about what we are going to do, and we saw that all the communities and all the players are pretty divided, and everyone was pretty closed off, like, yeah, this is our region, this is our small group, and yeah, we were thinking like, yeah, we definitely need to make the Eye of the Storm to pull everyone together, because I need, when the Europe is united, like we produce really good players. I think we have the potential to be one of the most quality wise, one of the best continents even for Mobile Legends, because even in different games, I think Europeans bring a lot of creativity. So yeah, that's why the Eye of the Storm. We want to pull everyone together.
That's nice. I think that should be the goal as well, and that's definitely the goal of Surge Europe. Everyone, those of you who are watching, and at the same time, you guys said you just didn't know anything about the game, right? Since last year, you just started playing it. So far, what's your favorite hero? Come on, guys. What's your favorite hero in the game?
Uh, Mine is Saber, and I still didn't really started. I'm Grandmaster. But I'm passionate gamer since my youth. I have like 20k hours in CS. I was very high rank in the League of Legends as well.
Ooh.
And yeah, I mean MLB is fun. I just don't have that much time to play games anymore. And yeah, I think Saber is fun because I also like to jungle when I was playing other MOBA games, Dota or League. So yeah, I was going for that.
If for me right now, like I'm stuck to Xavier.
Okay.
I really like to snipe from long distance. Like I really like how it's his game style really fits me. But also like I don't really have much time, and if I have maybe for 1 or 2, maybe 3 games a day, that's like the highlights, the brighter days. But right now I'm a little bit further than Onyo.
Oh, that's nice. You're rubbing it in.
I already hit
He's
Mythic,
lying.
so yeah.
Oh, he hit Mythic already. That's nice. So technically, from what I hear, for everyone in the chat, for those who are watching in Europe, these guys are the ones that you always trash talking while you're in the game. Like, oh my god, why are you playing like that? You guys don't understand the game and stuff like that. But that's
No,
of course
no.
that's on a gamer level, right, guys? But apart from all of that, let's move on, right? Because we're here to talk about, of course, what Europe has in store. Yes, as players, they got to understand the game. They enjoy the game. That's the first thing you got to do. Enjoy, love it before you can move on. And I think it begs the question as I know you started off with your structure with the V4 region, right? The Visegrad region, if I'm not wrong. So
Yes.
what does V4 the Visegrad region stand for, of course. And what structure have you brought to it so far, and why the V4 region?
Okay, so basically it's pretty simple answer. We are from Slovakia, and V4 region is Slovakia, Hungary, Czech Republic, Hungary, and Poland. So it's kind of our playground where we were born, where we like developed our businesses, and we know a lot of contacts around here. So we are already rooted within the community. So that's why we started here, and also we understand that when we are building community on the local level with local creators, local opinion leaders, and local cast, so people doesn't have to listen to English, but maybe have their own Polish, Hungarian, or Czech cast. Then we are increasing the engagement, we are increasing the viewership, and it's helping us build a community more. This was the start, but as soon as we started also with like European region, we find out pretty quickly that the main interest might be not the V4, which it is like that, but the Europe itself, as it is really big, and the players around the Europe are really interested in our products and our tournaments, and we have high amounts of team joining every European qualifier. So we quickly started to developing also whole Europe, and we want to try and focus also more for the whole Europe as a whole for the future.
Yes. And also like before, even when we started, we didn't want to go too big at the beginning, because if you are launching any new project, you always try to start somewhere where you feel safe. And with V4, we also had the main intent to help the regions. And as Anu said, the interest grow so fast that we had to switch, and we had to really reevaluate our plans. Even for the after first quarter, we were so surprised about either the participation or how we have to change the whole structure. So this is also something we definitely want to discuss, because the growth is immense, and it's pretty dynamic. Like I would say, esports in general is pretty dynamic, because the fans and the communities, everything is changing so fast. So we are always trying to keep up with the fans and the community, and I think we are doing pretty good job. We try to identify problems as soon as possible, and we know that we have still things that we need to improve. But like I said, after 3 months of going, I think we are already pretty far. So I'm glad that we have this interview and we can show our plans for the second half of the year.
Yeah, I mean, that's very important so that everyone is aware what European region has in store, right? Especially, I think the V4 region where you guys are from, the strength is there definitely. So, of course, I believe there's a roadmap as well for us to look at when it comes to the V4 region. That is, of course, like you mentioned, Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia, rather, or
No,
Czech
it's
Republic
separate.
and Slovakia. Yeah, Czech Republic,
Yeah.
Slovakia, Hungary, and Poland. I keep getting confused right there. So those four regions, of course, have their own roadmap, which we'll be showing later on as well. And I think apart from that, it's important to understand your roots and, like you guys mentioned, the passion. This comes through, especially when it's esports with this current generation, just evolving. And I think you guys have been players. Andre, you said yourself you were a player for different games as well. I think going a little off script here, what experience you think that, of course, you have the experience to bring that into Mobile Legends, right? And what do you see that's a common factor, and what do you see that there's a slight difference between the two bases, the player base of these games?
About which game you mean, like CS, for example, and MLBB?
Anyone that you want to compare it to?
I mean, I basically worked in CS for many years, doing tournaments, doing LAN, offline, online, offline events. I've been working for the best CS Counter-Strike, best Counter-Strike team here in Czech and Slovakia for many years. And basically, what I see the difference that we are really on the early stage and at the beginning of the whole run, because it's maybe harsh to say and maybe listen to for some players, but we are really on the very amateur level. Like, the communication is very bad, the outputs aren't there, and what we need to do right now is to bring professional organizations to the whole segment, to the whole game, because only if we bring professional teams, we can bring new fans, we can bring new players, we can give a proper talent pipeline to those talents, because those teams, they have coaches, they have resources to support those players, and also we will have a better marketing, more views. So overall, we need to start bringing professional teams to improve communication, marketing, and also sales and development of the talent. So this is our main goal right now, what we are trying to achieve and bring. After that, we're hoping to get also international spots. And so yeah, basically the biggest level between those two is that we are not yet there, and this segment is still so young, because when we look at CS came out like 1998, yeah, so so many years ago, and it's really easy to understand game, like, for the mainstream audience. The MLBB is pretty structured, but for me it has a really good chance to become more popular, as it's really accessible from all the places around the globe. You don't need anything, you need your smartphone and connection. So we are still in the beginning, but we will get there, don't worry. And we are here to help the whole ecosystem grow and become better. So we have big LAN events, the sold out venues, and thousands and thousands of people watching online and living the game. So yeah, that's the difference. That's where we are heading.
Yeah, Onyo went on a rampage with this one, and I think he went even far beyond what was asked. But maybe to your question, the biggest difference is maybe even cultural, because if you take Europe as a continent, most of the players are playing on PCs. So if you take MOBA games on PCs, you have Dota and you have League of Legends. And with the way MLBB started, with all the allegations and everything, I think maybe this is just my conclusion, but some people have cultural opinion about MLBB, and this is something we can definitely change, but it needs time. And I think we are on a really good path, because what MLBB is doing is something that, for example, League of Legends cannot or is not even doing. Like their events, their collaborations, they're really engaging. And for me, I was always playing MOBA games. And the way MLBB is much faster, there's more action, it's more engaging. You really have to have a team to really enjoy the game. Like if you are going solo, like it's not that enjoyable as if you are going with with the whole team. So yeah, it's more community based. And even if, when we started to talk to the community, we came to understand that the community is pretty united, and not just united, but the community was pretty disappointed at some points by many organizations which promised and didn't deliver. And that's why at the beginning we really had the biggest problem, that we wanted to create some good tournament, we wanted to give the first prize pool and so on, but the community didn't believe us. So I think we are still, like I said, on the start of the path to make MLBB really like a domain in Europe, but I think we are really doing the right thing right now.
Hey, well, I think, of course, Andre went on a rampage. He had his passion come through. All of a sudden, ask about the previous games, and then it's overflowing. All of a sudden, you got that aura exuding. But at the same time, I think Yaroslav said it best. You feel like you're starting off, but according to me, though, at least from what I see, from someone who's been in MLBB for a while, I can definitely say that you're more than ahead of the 8 ball. You're more than ahead from the start, because what you guys are talking about is having a foundation that was kind of rocky, right, from previous so-called organizations, like you mentioned. But now that I saw the recent announcement was made as well, your merger with MEE. I think that's been a constant staple throughout Europe for quite some time, and they've garnered the trust of the players, the teams, and of course the content creators that are present as well in Europe. And now with Surge coming in, creating this collab, creating this merger, I think you've only strengthened the base, and of course it's gonna go to the next level. So you guys, anything you guys have to say about the merger with the MEE, of course?
Yeah, I mean, this was the best probably that could happen to the Europe, because MEE has a really nice people that are hardworking, passionate about the game. For example, Davide is one of our new board members from MEE, and he's bringing so much passion, good ideas, and hard work into this whole thing. And I think together we can achieve even more, and we can bring to community even more. So our merge came in naturally. It was pretty organic, and we both parties share the same vision and the same idea for Europe as we see things together. So it was pretty obvious that we take parts together, and that's how this like whole merge came in life. And we also came with this idea to the Muntun straight away, and I think everyone in the community we talked to and overall like this, and I think this will be a big win for each side, for the players, for us, for MEE, and yeah, that's in the end what matters, to build up a proper values, and I think together we can make those.
Yeah, big shout out to Davide. Like the thing he brings to the table, the experience he brings, it's really something that let us skip some steps in our plan we had for Europe, because his passion for the game really make this possible, because we were just trying to be really focused on the V4 region and slowly build up. But with this merger, we really created something even more. Like the value we can bring right now is like on a different level. And even the talks and the like I said, the ideas we are creating and we are shaping. Even at the beginning, Onyo said that we started with one project, and right now, like we have so many things we need or we want to do at the same time. So yeah, I'm all for it, and you should be definitely looking out for what we are going to do. But we still want to be careful, like not to over promise what what we can do, because the people and the staff is limited right now. What we want to definitely do is to grow in the future and to bring even more. But right now, like I said, big shout out to Davide, and you should definitely watch out for what is coming.
Exactly. And a big shout out to Davide. Indeed, we love you, man. He's one of the reasons. I'll be honest. He's one of the reasons I'm here as well in Europe, and I've come as far as I can. And he has a lot of passion in, and of course, that passion speak volumes. And I think when three passionate people get together, there's no other better way to put it. But before we get emotional and start crying, of course, I think it's time for us to jump and go ahead and see about what this project that we're talking about. First, let's look at the V4 region, right? The V4 region is what we wanted to see. We have, of course, prepared a roadmap. Of course, Serge has prepared a roadmap for everyone to look at, and it starts with, of course, the V4 region. And I think before that, let's slightly highlight the European project as well, right? That's what you mentioned after coming through with everything. You have brought in the entire European project, which, of course, has the V4 matches highlighting that region. You have your European Mid-Season Cup. You have European Championship, and about education, about women, and of course, something that interests everyone, the Amateur League. Right, Andre? Before it comes
Yeah.
up on the screen, of course, yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's basically what you're saying is true, because we want to focus on the multiple pillars, and now we can see it on the screen actually. What we value, and we also want to align with values on Moontoon, but also our values. So our key products and 6 pillars for upcoming, let's say, 1 year, 1.5 year, is the European Mid-Season Cup, which will be a half-year tournament after first half of the season, and first season, first half of the year. So it will be our first big tournament each year. The first one will be actually in 2 months. Then we will have a European Championship, which will be end of year event, the biggest one we will have in each year, and it will be made for pro structure for the best players. And then also it was mentioned in the chat, so we shouldn't forget about the amateur league and amateur players. We aren't forgetting about that. We want to build starting 2026 and proper amateur league, which will be leading into the professional league. So there will be a continuity between those. So at the second half of this year, we are building the first pro one. But from the next year, you will have to go through amateur league, through relegations, and there will be a process for you to actually advance in this structure. Also, we're still gonna keep focus on the V4 as it's our main regions, and we have also marketing ready for this. We have a structure ready for this. We don't wanna forget the V4, so we're still gonna work on it with slight changes to the second half of the year regarding the feedback and the numbers and other things we're getting. So we will get to this point and talk about this in a second. And we want to keep improving and working on the education. Education is really, really important, because as education in gaming, we can use it as a powerful learning tool for the young people. Yeah, because how else you can these days capture an attention of a young person than through the games? Yeah, so we want people. We're not gonna say that people shouldn't play. We want everyone to play, but we can do good through this and improve some good skills and abilities in youth, and that's what we want to do. And also, we want to embrace women in the gaming, to play more, to play and to show up, because we think gaming is literally for everyone. Gaming should be for everyone and will be for everyone. So every half year we want to have a women tournament as well, so everyone got to play. And for 2025 we have ready more than 40,000 euro in the prize pool, which already some part of it was already paid out because we already had some tournaments, and over 28 tournaments, which will include community tournaments. We had a 2v2 tournament. We're aiming to bring more community tournaments in collaborations with content creators, as we are not only building a tournament structure, but we want to build a community hub here. Yeah, so we want to connect creators, the game, and the tournaments. So we have a proper structure that everyone can enjoy, not only pro players, but also casual players, also someone who wants to chill, someone maybe who wants to share opinions and play from the game. Yeah, so the community hub where everyone can spend some nice time. Yeah, we think this ecosystem and these 6 pillars are able to provide all of this?
Yeah, going after Honor is really hard because he always broadened the answer. Like but what I try to emphasize, maybe from my point of view, because there was a lot of questions regarding the amateur league. Like I want to impose on all the people who are watching and all the people who deem themselves as amateur or semi-amateurs. Like right now, we saw in our numbers that people didn't want to, for example, in the V4, they didn't want to participate about in the V4 tournaments because there were three really strong teams in each region which really dominate, and we totally understand that that's not really enjoyable for anyone. That's why we, like I said before, we are listening to you and we definitely want to hear your feedback. That's why I would like to invite all of you to our Discord, because we need to have these discussions. You have a room for suggestions and we want to hear all your ideas. We are welcoming new community coordinators, because to have this project going on, we need a lot of people. And the people who play this game, who understand the community, uh, who mostly enjoy the game, because even with the ideas you are bringing, some of them are easily done by our side. But at the same time, if we don't have the personal and we don't have the human resources to go through some of the community processes, it's pretty hard for us, because we try to level up our production. We are trying to level up the tournament experience, and we have a lot on our plate. That's why right now we are really trying to get as much passionate people as possible. That's why, like I said, feel free, go to our Discord, tell us about yourself, or raise your hand so we know about you. Also, for the education, like we know that most of the people or the gamers are usually it always begins in high school or at the end of the middle school, where the kids have so much time that they just spend it on gaming, like I did. And we know that right now it's not like, from my experience, I know that I could do more. And right now, I'm so happy about it that the movement with esports is trying to teach the kids how to spend their time in the game, outside the game, and everything. So that we definitely want to be supporters of these ideas going to the community. And for the women, this is something we definitely want to align with Muntun. And we already saw that a lot of girls are playing, even like we have a mixed rosters in our tournaments, which is something that's very interesting. And that's why this idea came, I think, in the right time. And we definitely want in the second half make something really exclusive for them, so that they feel like they have a space in our community.
Yeah, I think it's all about inclusivity as well, and kind of like integrating the game esports culture that you mentioned earlier while we started as well into what kids these days will grow up into, and of course like Mobile Legends Bang Bang later on, and strengthening the V4 area so that your roots are super strong, and also at the same time expanding further into Europe, and of course the amateur league that'll come in later on. Don't worry, guys, we're bringing in all that exciting news, and like the two of them said, you got to make sure you follow or join their Discord. The link's going to be there in the description. It's going to pop up by Nightbot every now and then in the chat as well. So make sure you join there to stay updated. And of course, I think apart from all of that, we've covered most of the boring bits that everybody would like to call, that's watching in the chat at least. But now we get to the nitty gritty. We get to what people kind of want to see, right? And of course, the question that I was going to ask is, are you going to plan on moving further past the V4 region? But I think we're way past that. We've already moved on. We're coming in hot with the European project, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's the one that everyone is interested about. And Andre mentioned earlier as well that while trying to strengthen the V4 region, you realize that Europe is a massive region and everybody else wants to be there. And of course, if Surge is going to be the eye of the storm, what does Europe have in store, Andre?
I mean, for Europe,
Yes.
pretty much everything. We want the high prizes. We want the tickets for the biggest events. We want big creators, a lot of content, everything. Like basically big hub where you can spend time, share opinion, and be engaged. So simply this is it. And I think we should look at the structure of V4 either EU that we have in plan right now, because only that like we can explain to the players how it will look exactly. So if we can look right now at the structure, then it would be the best, because as I said, we made some changes and adjustments for V4. We also changing the EU structure. The change for the V4 will be more dramatical, but overall we still want to keep the game of competition. So now we can see the timeline exactly how it's going. So after this season of finals, which will be in June, season of finals is each quarter. So just to explain to the fans how the V4 worked till now. So each two months we have two qualifiers for each country. Two best teams would advance. At the third month we have the season of finals for the whole region. So the best teams always compete in season of finals. There we have prize pool of 2,000 euros. Yeah. So after this season of finals that will take place in June, we will have now the second round of qualifiers. We're gonna change the structure, as we think this new structure will bring more competition, more teams to play in each qualifier. And also, not we only changing the structure, but we are going to change the format of the tournaments. So, starting July, the whole region, all 4 regions will be connected to one qualifier, but we will not proceed further with single elimination format, okay? Because single elimination meant a lot of time that you got the best opponent in the first round, you're waiting 2 weeks or 3 weeks for one tournament, and then after one loss you are out, okay? Nah, we want to change this because we want people to play, even those people that aren't the best top tier, we want them to compete, to have fun, and to enjoy the game, yeah? Because that's why we're here at the end. Some teams are there to take money, but some teams are there to have a fun. So we want everyone to enjoy. Therefore, we're gonna change to Swiss system, yeah? So everyone plays at least 3 to 5 games each qualifier, depending how many teams we will get. And also, we want to bring more prizes into this tournament. So we're not gonna give money to top 3, but let's say you lose 2 matches, but you still qualify at least to playoff. Okay, we're gonna give you at least diamonds, so you can buy something for in-game currency, some skin or something. So we're gonna expand the prizes regarding the in-game currency. So more teams get some reward for playing, even though they didn't win everything, yeah? So this is what's gonna change. And there will be no season of finals, but V4 championship will take place in October with a prize pool. I think it's 4,000 euro. I don't know. Don't take me on this one 100%, but it's like around 4,000 euro.
Yeah, for V4 championship it will be 4,000.
Okay, it is 4,000. I'm sorry. It's too many, a lot of numbers, a lot of work for me. Working since like 6 a.m. And another thing, the top team will also in the V4 championship will get spot in the European championship. Yeah. So the best team will have a guarantee to play in the biggest tournament we have during the whole year. So there is a big point for V4 teams to play and fight for this spot. Right now we have Ake that won the V4 season finals, but I'm looking forward to see more teams trying over this effort and get some wins and qualify for the European Championships. So basically, this is what we change. We want more viewership, we want more teams, and we want teams that participate to play more games and have more fun. Yeah, basically that's the whole reason behind these changes.
Yeah, maybe to just add, because I think maybe it was a slight misunderstanding. For the V4 qualifiers, we are still going to having prize pools in euros, but only for the rest. Like the first 3 places are going to be handed out a proper prize pool. Only the teams after the 3rd place are going to have at least diamond currency pay them if they get to playoffs. Just to clear it up, and I think maybe in the roadmap it's not there, but for V4 players they are also getting a spot in the mid-season cup that is going to happen in the beginning of July.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Yaroslav. It's really hard going after Andre. He covers basically all the points, to be honest. But he
Yeah,
did.
machine gun guy. He's not letting anything.
I will let Yaro start the next topic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess so. Why not? Why not? Let's switch it up a little bit because, of course, right now this is the roadmap for the V4 region, and at the same time, I know you guys can see, it's slightly highlighted. It's in gray. November, December, the European Championship playoffs. That's all there. That's what interesting a lot of other people. But at the same time, I think let's move on to what we have as a roadmap for the entirety of Europe as well, because I feel like you mentioned you want to target the V4 region, but also understood that Europe as a whole has a lot more to offer, and you have a lot more to offer to Europe as well. So Yaroslav, here the floor is yours, so that this time Andre doesn't eat up all the mic time. So
Yeah. So to start off the European, I think everyone already could notice that European region is starting to be the priority of search. So for the rest of the first half of the year, we are going to continue as we did. So we have these qualifiers, which leads to leaderboards, because a lot of people didn't know, but it's really important to participate, because each time when you have a solid team that is participating in all the qualifiers, you are going to get as much, you will get so many points that you are, even if there are going to be better teams in some of the qualifiers, you can still get so many points that you qualify for the mid-season championship. Like right now, there are only 2 left, but for those who understood this system in February, I think it's seen, like you can see their point balance in the leaderboards. So after the mid-season, in the original plan, we wanted to have for the rest of the year also qualifiers, and at the end of the year in December, one offline tournament. But that changed as the merger happened with MEE. So after the July mid-season cup, we are going to start the pre-season, which is going to also be played similarly as in V4. So we will have 4 pre-season tournaments, which are going to be played, like I said, as qualifiers in V4, and then we'll have a last chance for all the teams that didn't either they didn't have time to play all the pre-season tournaments, or they form a new team at the end of October or something. Like they can still participate in the open qualifiers. That will be the final tournament you can qualify to European Championship for this year. And for the European Championship, we are going to have also a Swiss format for the regular season, where we want all the teams to play as much as possible. And then for the European Championship playoffs, we are going to have an offline event, which should be in Budapest. So I hope you are ready, because I think this is one of the biggest things for MLBB in Europe in a long time, to have a proper offline tournament. There's still one city that could replace the Budapest, but for now, let's keep it in Budapest. I'm not going to say. And of course, like I saw in the chat that a lot of people are asking about one big tournament, which we are not allowed to talk about. So let's keep this topic alive. But yeah, of course, like Search is always striving to get the spots in not just the MLBB official tournaments, but also in different global tournaments. So what you can expect from us, like our big ambition is to get slots in most of the big global events. So guys, get some coaches, play as much as possible, get as strong as you can, and then we will see how far the European region can go.
Yeah, I will just follow up to this because it's basically, guys, in your hands. If your level of professionalism is high enough, if your communication is good, and if we manage to grab you an esport team, you are the chance that we can actually get those spots, and you are getting it for us. But overall, it's not only about us. That's what I want to say. Yeah, if we really want an M7 slot, trust us, we will give it 100%. We will put all the effort into this, but in the end, it's you and your performance and your attendance and your viewership that really matters and makes a difference. So we will need your help here. And just to add on top, yeah, we will have Middle European offline event, who knows where, but you can look forward because it will be probably the first big event for the Europe. And yeah, the format of the preseason will be also changed like V4. It will be Swiss, so you can play multiple games, not getting the best opponent in first round and losing after losing one BO1. Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, actually, I tried one tournament and we finished like in 9 minutes, and then that was it for my tournament experience. So we understand your pain, we understand that you want to play, and that's why like I said, we are listening. So if you have any feedback that is not even good, like feel free to share, because otherwise we can't really see what you are feeling during the tournaments, and we want to really make the tournaments as swift as possible.
Yeah, I think tournaments as fast as possible. And I think the best part is the regular tournaments that are coming our way, right? That's the most important thing. Regular tournaments, not just for the V4 region where you started out in, but of course, the entirety of Europe. And what everybody definitely has their eyes on is a big piece of that 40,000 euros that we shown earlier as well. Yes, guys, if you're just tuning in, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you join the Discord as well to stay updated with all the tournaments that Surge Europe is bringing your way, which sums up to about 40,000 euros, 28 plus tournaments. I mean, come on, guys. What more do we need in Europe after such a long time? There's something that's coming our way. And of course, like you spoke about, a possible offline tournament as well that is going to happen. Not possible, it's mostly probable. So at this point, it's getting better for Europe, and of course there's a lot more to come, not just for this but also next year. It's just building a foundation towards moving on in the next stage, and I think it's just exciting time if you're a European fan. And I know there's that question that everyone keeps asking, if we should talk about that. I'll bring that in later on, just add that extra bit of spice. But if we could bring us back at this point, Cage, I just wanted to ask, while we're getting a little heated, since we're talking about regions, we're talking about tournaments, and you've seen so many tournaments thus far, Andre and Yaroslav, let me ask you a bit of a curveball question. Which player or team has caught your eye so far in all the tournaments that you've seen? Because let's be honest, you guys didn't know anything about MLBB before you started Surge, right? And even now, slightly a little bit, a lot more. Of course, the behind the scenes 100% about the players as well. But so far, which player has caught your eye, or which team? Andre, you first.
I think it's a guy called Wicked. I think he was playing first for No Limit, then they won, I think, the first qualifier. And now he was playing for a team called Exordium, and they again won the qualifier. And yeah, I think I saw his matches on Liquipedia and in higher leagues as well. So showing we have a good potential between players. And as I said, we just need to give them proper resources, proper talent pipeline, and an organization they can play for. And I think we can make these talents grow. I don't think he's alone. I saw a lot of talented players and people with passion. Miracle Gen, for example, that team, you can see they have passion. They register to all the tournaments month before it's even starting. You can see them pushing content out, training. We have Ake from Poland doing scrims every day, asking us to create tournament lobbies for them. So yeah, shout out to one player. I would like to give shout out to many, many players. So as I'm saying, good talent. we need to just keep grinding, and we need to try to give them the proper talent development structure.
Yeah, if I can just follow up on it, like the guys on your set, and they really stood up, but they're not the only ones. Like, for example, when you look at our tournaments, we have purely tournaments for Slovak and Czech region, for Hungarian region, for Poland, Polish region, and then for Europe. So in each tournament, you always find something that's super interesting to look at. Like even the fans, like usually when there's a team that they support, you see even the influx of people who are coming to the stream. And uh, as an organizer, the best feeling for us is to see that people are starting to have their favorite, like they're starting to be fans instead of us, like, because no one has the same preference, and I think everyone likes different players. And these rivalries, this is something that's esport is about. Like, you usually want to see the crowd go wild when something happens, and this is what I want to see in our tournaments, throughout the tournaments, and for any player. Like, what is better to see than a clutch of like 1v5, when some player pull out some some random stunt and everyone is surprised, like that those are the things that esports is all about. Like, I always love I don't really care who pulls this shit out, but it's always good to look at it. And but if I have to say what I was surprised about, and this is, for example, duplicated from Team Entropy, because when we were putting together the Slovak national team, for example, and I asked the guys if they know any good players, like right now I see that the anonymity in the community is big problem, because a lot of people are looking for good players to their squad or to their team, and this is a big problem that don't know each other. And that's why, as Onyo said, we want to create a hub on our Discord where all the people can come, and if they are looking for a team, they will find need to create. Because otherwise, if you are just stuck in your solos, and I don't know, then it's a big problem.
Yeah, that's right. I think especially for aspiring esports players, those who want to see themselves on the big stage, and we know what big stage we're talking about. We're talking about the M7. We're talking about EWC. We're talking about MPLs. All of that. If you want to see yourself over there, it starts with the first step, and I think the first step is definitely brought in by Surge for Europe to build that foundation for players to take it to the next level, which is very important. Again, time and again, we're reiterating, not just me, these guys are reiterating that fact that they have to provide that pipeline. You provide that resources for the players and everyone to kind of take themselves to the next step. And of course, it comes down to the players themselves, but they are providing the best environment for everyone to grow. You need those nutrients, and that's what Surge is here to provide. And speaking of one of those big nutrients that Surge is going to provide, we're going to talk about the next upcoming European Championship. And that's a big one, because I'll be honest, teams want to know more about this. I'm not going to talk much. Andre, it's all yours.
Okay, so we have prepared this graphics. I mean, we talked about it, but so people can understand more, the preseason will be the first like the first meta, the first step to qualify for the end year event. And it's basically 3 rounds. Yeah, from those 3 rounds, we will have several amount of teams qualifying for the big tournament. I mean, you won't not qualify immediately. You're gonna collect points. So because that's it all about. We want teams to play each tournament, not just play it once and then not play. Yeah? Then after 4 preseasons, where you're collecting points, we understand that some teams can form later, or some players might have a disagreement, and some groups might form. And that's why we want to give like last chance, and we want these teams to still have chance to qualify for playoffs. So this is like wildcard qualifier, these open qualifiers, and there will be like last spots for the big playoffs. there is something that's not mentioned is we still want to invite teams, so you can expect some big names going in the later stages of the European Championship. You can stay tuned. We will announce it soon enough. So it's not only preseason and open qualifiers. We still can invite some teams to play. And after that, after the qualifying season and 1,200 euros, we will have a regular season. The regular season will be played in Swiss. The teams have to play each other, collect earn the wins, and if they earn enough wins, the best teams, the tip of the iceberg, we want to bring those teams to an offline event, because online is completely I'm me as a player, the esports manager or business developer or whatever. I see a big difference between online and offline events. The atmosphere, you have to fight the stress, you have to fight the audience. It's completely different world, and we want to bring this experience, as we think this is something the MLBB in Europe deserve, and is something that might enhance the whole player experience. And for example, in the CS, all the players are looking forward to qualify for some LAN events and really prove themselves. It's really the best thing that can happen in your career. The only better thing is to win it, which I think everyone is looking to. And for this event, we have the 10,000 euro allocated, which is prize pool that Europe barely seen or never seen. I have no idea, but it's something that's really worth playing, trying for. And we want to acquire some international spot also for the biggest and best team. This is something to be discussed, to be announced. I don't want to go further in the details because nothing is 100% yet. But our main goal is to, Yaroslav already mentioned it, to get some spot in international tournament, and that's what we will be fighting for in upcoming weeks and months.
Yeah, nothing like not much to add. What we can definitely emphasize in this slide is that the structure is always changing, and even in the future, if we see something to be improved or to get a better experience for the players, we are definitely going to make that change, because it's really important for us to do or to have our players have a smooth tournament where everything is going like with no hiccups. Of course, at the beginning there were some issues, because for us it was really new, and I have to tell you some backstage information. Like, if you are working with a Chinese company, you have to know that the Chinese developers are not speaking English. So if you want to do something, you have a long road before you. But of course, I want to do a shout out to Moontun, because they are really supportive and they communicate a lot. So they see the potential as well. But at the same time, if we want to get the national slots for big tournaments, they need to see that we are prepared. They need to see that we have the quality of the teams, because it would be such a disaster to bring the best team from our tournament to a world stage, and they would go stomped 0-3, 0-3, 0-3 on every game. And this is something we don't want to do. That's why we have prepared some trails for our teams, and this is also something that will be exciting news, but we still don't have the 100% details. But if we have them, we'll definitely share, and we are really trying to push the best teams from Europe as much as possible. So guys, let the best win. We are looking forward. We are going to do as much support from our side to you as possible. So as Onyo said, right now everything is in the hands of the players.
Yeah, definitely in the hands of the players. And you get, these guys have been teasing the world stage so much that I'll be honest, I feel like it's coming. It's all about what do you call that part? Manifest it. Manifest. Yeah, I think at this point all Europe can do is manifest, and I'll be honest, I feel like it's around the corner, guys. We didn't get our slot for the EWC, but I think M7 might just be there. They don't want to tell me anything. They don't want to tell us anything right now because they want to be 100% sure. But from what I'm hearing, from what you guys are hearing as well, I think you can see there's right towards the end before the M7 starts, there's a nice offline tournament. You know, before that you got another qualifier. Yeah, it's like a nice roadmap that's built out already. But again, no promises, as they said. Andre just puts his hands up like, hey, I don't know, I'm not the one saying this. But also for the European Championship, there are slots as well, right? If you could take a look at the slots, of course, that are coming through for the teams that are gonna be there, how they're gonna get invited. Of course, it's a big roadmap. It's a big journey. It's a long journey, and it's gonna be a fun one because we have a lot of prizes up for grabs, a lot of tournaments as well. And I think these slots are gonna be interesting because I think I saw one slot for the MFC as well, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I did. And then you have 8 teams from the preseason, 2 open qualifiers, and 1 V4 team. So it's basically for everyone.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe you want to speak, so I don't speak always first.
Yeah. We really pondered about how to divide these slots to be the most fair. And right now, as you see it, the 8, since we have 4 tournaments for pre-seasons, like the first 2 teams have the best chance to qualify. And since we have to make the number uh, easily divided, like to be possible to divide it, 8 is like the best possible number for our preseason. And for the open qualifier, since it will be really tough competition, like if you imagine how many teams are going to participate there who didn't have the chance to get there, I think it will be really tough tournament to go through. That's why we have 2 slots all purely for open qualifiers. Since some of our teams who are playing in V4 are also playing the European regional qualifiers, which we are really glad because it gives them more experience. We have a slot only for the best team from V4. Also, as you can see, the MFC guys from France, they are really going hard. We are really glad. We had a call and we see what they want to do, and we want to support them as much as possible. That's why this slot is going to this federation that is trying their hardest to also support the MLBB community in Europe and mostly in France. And we keep 4 invitations for ourselves since we really want to have possibility, if the chance are going to come, to bring some really high quality teams, maybe even from the world stage.
Oh, the world stage. They keep mentioning that. It's like a teaser. They're running the food right in front of
we
us.
have to. This is
It's true.
entertainment.
It's true. It's true though. That's the best part. You're not even lying about it. It's not like you're teasing us. It's literally the truth. But the thing is, as an avid lover for MLBB and from the Europe region as well, where I found a home, is just wow. It's just, I'm salivating listening to that the entire time. But yes, guys, as you can see, this is the slots, of course, for the European Championship. Got 8 from the preseason, 2 open qualifiers, 1 from the V4 region, 1 team from the MFC, and of course 4 teams as well going to be invited for the European Championship. And I think that's going to be the big one that everyone is looking out for from the European region. But yes, Onyo, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just on the top. So big shout out to effort from the France and what they are trying to build. It's that's also the key point why we're giving them the slot, because we want to support effort on the local level. If someone, it's same for the V4, same for MFC. If someone is willing to build a structure and spend resources, time to enhance the community on the local level, then we are looking forward to discuss about possibilities of giving slots to our main tournaments, to these organizers, these leagues, because in the end, we all want the European scene to flourish, and the best thing to achieve is through the local markets. So it makes sense. If there will be more organizers to follow, we are more than happy to support this effort and to enhance these cooperations. So I just wanted to at these on top. And yeah, pretty much Yaro said everything else. So that's how we were thinking about all the system. And regarding for invited teams, yeah, if I when I was player, I always loved to play against the stronger teams because that gave me the most experience, and I saw it as the biggest challenge. Because when I was entering the match as an underdog, it gave me so much hype, and I have this mentality, prove them wrong. So that's something that players should look at it like. So they shouldn't look at it like they are scared, but they should look at it like we're gonna beat them and we're gonna prove them that we are better.
Yeah, I think the underdog story is what me as a caster, as a host, I love to talk about as well. Because the underdog story just always, when I'm casting it, like just into the game, yes, you want to see the big names pop off. But at the same time, if an underdog just pulls off those ridiculous moves that Yaro mentioned earlier, just 1v5, all of a sudden, that just creates the highlight. That just elevates teams to the next level. And we've seen different regions accomplish that in the past, and that's how they got the slots for the international stage. And I don't see why Europe can't do that themselves. And also garnering and helping, supporting other regions while they're doing their local scene grow up and bring a big tournament towards the end of the year. And hey, big slot coming, guys. I'm telling you, I can feel it. We got to manifest it. And like they said, they need your support to make that happen. How professional we can be, how much more viewership you can get, how much more attention you can garner from a lot of other people as well. Because the support definitely is there by Mobile Legends Bang Bang. So I think that's what we need. And of course, not just that, I know for a fact that after we have the European Championship, this is the other thing, right? A lot has come into Europe before. There's that big European Championship. But then after that's over, yes, you have the hype for a weekend. You have the hype for a week. Let's say there's a lot of drama. It goes on for a month, right? What next? Right? That's the question everyone's probably going to ask. But guess what? We have something coming up next as well. It is, like they mentioned earlier, continuity in towards the next year. Long-term growth. That's the most important thing. And that comes in with the so-called amateur league. And I think we're calling it an amateur league because there's not much done. But if you ask me, I'm looking at it some kind of like an MDL level, if I'm not wrong, just if I'm giving a slight bit of a comparison. So, Andre, I think Yaroslav has got the stage for long enough. Now you first.
Yeah, so we even prepared some graphics explaining
Yes.
the continuity, how the amateur league would go, and it's basically comparable to the concepts of the highest MPL and stuff like that. So basically, you have a pro scene, you have an amateur scene. So there will be a continuity. So the pro teams that been doing good in the last season, they will keep their spots. But those that ended up on the worst spots in the pro series, they will fight in relegations. And where the relegations will come from, it's an amateur league, because we want to separate the type of the iceberg. Those teams that would stomp everyone in 10 minutes, 7 minutes. So they play their own league. And amateurs, they can play their own. Yeah, so they will have spring and fall season being played at the same time as the professional scene. It will be also the same structure, same tournament, so it will be Swiss in several pre-seasons. Everything quite same. But at the end of the season, you won't be having the mid-season or the season champion or European Championship at the end of the year, but instead you will go to relegations. In the relegations, you will play against the worst teams for the past season from the pro scene, and if you are good enough, you can learn your spots in the best between the best. So the whole structure will start being in shape at the start of the 2026. Yeah, the reason for next half of this year is to build the pro scene, and then from the start of the next year there will be two separate leagues running at once, amateur and pro. While yeah, we want everyone to play, everyone to have a space, everyone not to get disgusted by getting stomped in 7-10 minutes. And also the best teams in the amateur league can be picked up by some pro organizations. That's the plan for the future. Yeah, that's basically
maybe
it
if I can
aligns.
just,
Yes,
sorry.
sure. Yeah, go ahead. I'm tired.
I just wanted to say that there's a lot of talk like we need more tournaments, we need something for the lower elo and so on. We hear you, and even though if we are going to make this amateur league, just still know that there are going to be strong teams. So what I'm trying to say for the player is like, don't be a wuss and just try to get better in the game, like get good as it said, and keep the perseverance. Because what I think this like MLBB deserves is to have players that got not just passion, but that also have drive. Because esports is really not easy. Like if you look at other games where the esports is already on a different level, you see that the competitiveness between the players is so high. You are never sure that if you are a player, that if you are going to stay in the team for the whole year or maybe for just one season. So this is something that the MLBB players have to experience. Like it's really really hard to be an esports player, and we will help you, but we still need you to build the mentality of esports. We need the players to be more serious, to be more dependable, because even us, like, if we want to elevate the whole MLBB esports ecosystem, we will need your support. Like, for example, when we ask for pictures, it's not for fun. Like, we still have a lot of work to be done with the pictures. We still need to do a lot of things to really have a good production for you, to have a good stream for you, and as well the professional organization we are trying to get to MLBB so that we have a professional esports ecosystem. They need to see that you are prepared. So right now, what I really want to, like, the message we are trying to give out is that we are going to help you, but asking everything, like everything is always in your hands. So if we see a team who is going a one step further than the others, of course we are going to try to help this team a little bit as well, because everything is about action and reaction. So yeah, we are going to do everything you saw, and we have prepared a lot of things that can happen. But guys, see you on our Discord, see you on our tournaments, and I believe, or as it's always, let the best rule them all.
Yeah, hopefully so, because that's gonna be super important for everyone to take part themselves, right? That's the key info that everyone has to understand. And apart from that, there I'm right now, guys. Just to let you know, that's all the information that we had. But now I want to delve into a couple of questions that I saw that are nice in the chat, of course. I think for the first one, 40,000, is that real, from Marcus? Yes, it is. But of course, it is spread throughout the year, as mentioned before as well, with the 28 tournaments that are coming throughout the year. And already about 16, 17 of them are done for the first half of the year. And there's a lot of prizes given out. And it will continue to do so, with the big one being the European Championship that has 10,000 up for grabs. So that's going to be super important. Will that be an offline tournament? Yes, it is planned to be one at the moment, if I'm not wrong. And another thing was, I did see, can Southeast Asian teams register for the tournament? And I think, are they allowed as imports, right, Andre, if I'm not wrong?
Yeah. Basically, we allow players within the Europe, expect the Ukraine, for example, to play, because Ukraine right now, it's a big topic for us if to allow them to play the next half of the year. We are still discussing it. The only reason behind this is because they already have their pro league, the pro scene. They already have their structure, and they are ahead of the rest of Europe. And we want the rest that doesn't have this chance to develop properly, yes, but we are thinking about the next half of the year. Regarding the rest of the world, even if you are Asian from India or NA, South America, Africa, you can play our tournaments, but you need to be as an import. So you need to have majority of your active roster, so 3 out of 5 players, to be within the allowed countries of the Europe. Yeah, therefore, even if you are from Madagascar, you can take a place if you have 3 German players, for example. So you still can find a team to play within the Europe. So feel free to join the Discord and look for one like this if you are listening or watching right now. And for the Ukraine, as I'm saying, we're still deciding if to allow to play the next part of the season. So that's basically it. But I would like, if you guys have any questions in chat, feel free to ask. Right now is the best option and opportunity to get an answers. And yeah, I'm here to answer them, and they are as well.
And not just that, I think if you ask me, of course you guys can. I'm from India myself. I'm a part of Surge Europe also. I'm casting for their tournament, so I think it goes to show that inclusivity is definitely there. Diversity is definitely there. And but of course, if you're taking part in the tournament, there are rules and regulations that you gotta follow. So that's gonna be important. And if you could give us a little more information, guys, while we have you here for a little longer, let's not take any more time, of course, but if you could give us a little more info about the European Championship, right? Yes, we have the prize pool. Yes, we have the timeline. Come on, give us a little more of that tea. You know, we like to sweeten our mouths a little bit. In India, at least we say, you know, you sweeten your mouth before you put in some good news. So this is definitely the good news is to come later on through announcements, of course, guys. You gotta follow you follow their Instagram. You know, you gotta subscribe to the YouTube, join the Discord. You're gonna get information there, of course. But a little bit of a teaser, if there's something that's confirmed that you can tell us.
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Both of them just stopped.
Thank you. Now that something more has to be offered, I am going now. What I definitely can share that we want to make our first offline event something to be memorable. So we definitely want to have some community activities, and not just activities, maybe some cosplay competition, or like there's a lot of things that we can make for this event to be even better. Like we also ask a representative from Moontoon to be present, and they were positive. Like if everything, like I think we still have to send them the exact date to confirm, but I think they really would like to come to our first offline event. So this is also something I say is very entertaining news. So I think this is everything I would say to European Championship, except for what we already said about the tournament.
All right, Andre.
Yeah, I mean, there is not much to say. We want to enhance the community, bring more activities, more additional content. So yeah, there is more engagement. People are more entertained and have more fun. If you was pointing at the slots, there is really not much we can say now. It's a music of the future, and if there will be something, we will be letting know. That's why it's important to follow not only our Discord but also our Surge Europe Instagram, because only some news are going to Discord, some we have only on the Instagram. So it's good to follow, good to look for some content. And I see some questions in the chat. Yeah, so basically for the amateur teams, you can go through the broadcast. It will be uploaded on the YouTube. We've been speaking. There will be brand new structure for the amateur teams for the next year. So you will have a separate competition from the pro scene. So there will be more freedom regarding playing and the easier enemies, I would say, but still will be very good teams participating. The offline event will be sponsored. Yes, the teams that will qualify, we want to support them with resources for travel, accommodation, and there will be also a great prize pool waiting for them. So basically, these questions I saw in the chat. Feel free to ask more, and I would like to ask you, Kronos, because
this one's off script, guys. But yeah, go ahead.
I mean, you was mentioning something about shaving your hair, and we would do a giveaway for it for your community. So for ours as well. Will you go both for this purpose? Maybe it would support ours getting slot for M7.
Look at that guy. Hey, now, hey, now you're gonna start saying hashtag Kronos go bald. But yeah, nah, I mean, I did shave. I do shave. I do shave a slight bit of a beard and a mustache that I get. I can't really look as handsome as Yaroslav or you, Andre. But I mean, this, I don't know. I just got a new hairstyle done myself to try and look a little more neater than just looking a little messy like I do all the time. Trying to take myself as well to the next level. Because, I mean, the messy look can only stand for so long. But I don't know about that. I'll be honest. I don't know about going bald. But I was gonna I was gonna ask you a question when it comes to being a pro player or organizing tournaments. Now that you guys have so far, what would you pick?
This is easy because there's a saying like if you are a bad player, you are always the organizer.
Talk for yourself.
Oh,
I'm
you just
I'm
throw
higher
one
rank
over.
than you are.
Yeah, maybe. But in CS, I was pretty good. But yeah, I didn't have much resources to play back in the days. And since my dream was always to be a pro player and to play on that big scene and being on the big screen and having really big audience in front of me cheering for me, I didn't achieve this dream, and I saw point and reason to do other stuff where I can make money and make my living. And I want this dream for other players to come true since it was something I couldn't achieve. So right now I really transfer this energy into making other people dream come true in this type of field. So that's how I'm thinking about it. And it's pretty hard to be a pro player these days because you have pool of people being this big and basically only few get the chance. So it's a really hard environment to make living, and I would like to embrace everyone to actually try it and go for their dreams, because you can only do it not only but mostly do it when you are young. So take this chance, grab it, and make the most out of it.
You know what? I think we can have an exhibition match, right? Before you have the grand finals where you can get to play on the big stage as well. Just might as well fulfill our dreams too at that point. And the European Championship, just throwing an idea out there. It could be possible. Entertainment, community engagement vibes and all that whatnot. But also apart from that, the couple of questions in the chat, of course, that we'll address to. Give us a second, guys. I wanted to ask also, since this is you guys are we are the right path, and Surge Europe, of course, you guys are doing absolutely amazing. Got partnerships involving other communities, involving other tournaments that are there. But now, if you had unlimited budget, like I'm talking unlimited, right? There's no limit. You can have whatever you want to improve tournaments. What would be the first thing that you'd invest into?
For me, I can't say I'm pretty analytical thinking, so I would make regarding the money, I would make a timeline, make a priority list, and pick up what's the most important, go step by step. But the most important right now, or not right now, always the most important is people. So I would invest into getting good people and getting ambitious and young people, so we can actually set up a big high standard of the events right now, and we can ensure that the next generation of our employees or the management will be also good, because all the best come from the head. And yeah, if you have a good the mind behind everything, then the things will work. It's basically like that always. So I would invest into to team structure, and after that everything would start working, because those people will start coming up with ideas, with the new things, and they will start executing them. So if you build the team correctly and you understand who is good for which position and where to put those people, that's the most crucial part in my opinion. So yeah, that's what I was in. It's pretty generic answer, but there is no easy answer to these questions. Yeah.
Following up is hard, isn't it?
No, actually, no. I was going to give a really straight answer because you give Onyo a simple question and he give you a whole like a fairy tale with packed with it. But I will give you a really simple answer. Like I love events, so I think the Europe deserves, and I think that's also one of our like end goal is to have a LAN even like in front of 10,000 people, and every like the culture to already be there so that the people are enjoying. Like for example, when you are watching Counter-Strike majors, how the people are enjoying it, what kind of atmosphere you have there. This is something. If I have unlimited budget, I would. This would be the goal, and I think it's a goal even right now. But we don't have unlimited budget, so yeah.
Well, the goal is the same, so that's what we got to do. We got to make sure we get that big viewership, that big tournament for everyone in Europe, and I think we already got your honest opinion about what MLBB Europe has to offer, right? We've seen how the structure is important, but can it catch up to the Asian regions, or can it catch up to the Asian regions, or will it still remain like as a tier 2 game compared to like CS and stuff?
I think we can. Like it's a matter of time. It's a matter of the community. Like again, like we can try as much as we want. If the teams are not going to participate in the tournaments, if the players are not going to train to be better, if like there's so many things that are outside of our control. But I think we definitely can, because we already are thinking about some exchange programs. Like it's definitely possible to bring some Asian team here to play some friendlies, to get the experience, to get some tips and tricks. Like everything is possible, but at the same time, it has to be work on both sides.
Mhm. That's true. I don't know. Onion, you want to say something about that? No? We move
I
on?
mean, no, we can compete with Asia. Just we are far behind, so we now have to make bigger and faster steps.
All right. Hey, this time you kept it short and sweet, which is true, though, which is true. But couple of questions from the chat,
Yeah,
of
I was
course.
a hater.
Yeah. A couple of questions from the chat. Can you tell more about the regular season? We just spoke about it earlier in the stream. Of course, guys, you can track back and there'll be videos coming through later on as well. So make sure you follow the socials so you can get updated. The Instagram, where you get different posts. The YouTube, of course, that you're watching from. Twitch is there as well. For those of you who didn't know, you can follow that. And of course, make sure you join the Discord. You'll get updated information there. And will you be giving slots for the winners of the national championships? Would that be an option?
Like we said, we already did.
There you
But
go.
it has to be a level of competition where, like for example,
The
the
MFC.
French Federation did. Like
I agree.
that, it's different for every nation. Like we need to be connected. Like no one except for the French didn't really approach us and have like a proper call where we discuss
Okay.
the future, the support, the cooperation. That's why I'm saying, like, if anyone from any national federation or players who are in a national selection, like, feel free to approach your federation. Let them approach us so that we know that there's the desire, and we can definitely do something. But for now, I think this is already a closed chapter, because like you need to understand that we have to plan ahead. So for the next year, we will see. Like I said, esports, it's so dynamic that you have to always try to change things or mix things up a little bit. So yeah, like definitely.
Yeah.
I will just answer a few questions in chat. Is that MPO Europe? No, it's not MPO Europe. This is European Champions League, so it's our custom product. MPL is only for Moontoon managed leagues.
Yeah, actually, we can't even call it league, so
We
that's why
have
it's European Championship, just to be 100%
champions.
what you are going to expect.
Yeah. And I
And,
think about. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, I wanted to say that someone was asking about how we're gonna improve the promo tournaments and improve the viewership. We want to bring more content creators. We want to bring creators outside the MLBB. We want to work creators already within the MLBB. We want to work with the local groups on Facebook and Discords. So we are really quite young company. We're not here for a long time. It's been several months. So our first goal to build was to build a level where all the players are happy with the tournaments. It's smooth, it's easy to navigate, and they're satisfied after the tournament. After that, we started building level of production. So if someone is watching the tournament, they are satisfied with how it looks like. So we did our own application that is like working with data through API and displaying on the stream. And now the last point will be to start bringing masses in, start bringing people, start bringing the strategical partnerships to improve the viewership. And yeah, that's basically it. Content creators, esports teams, and community activities to increase to make a community hub. That's the main goals, and building on the local level with local casts.
Yeah. Also, like we are upgrading our production. Like there's a lot of steps we can do, and there's a lot of things we are doing. But as we always try to do, we try to finish the things, and when they are ready, then they're going out. So we don't want to hurry, don't want to rush. So step by step, we are going to slowly bring you always something better, and always try to improve on what we, for example, like everything is an experience.
Yeah, I think it's just a step-by-step process. Of course, you can see the questions coming rapid and coming fast about something that should have, that's because of all, like you mentioned, the promises that are made before were not delivered, and now we're getting to that point where we can deliver them, especially through Surge for Europe. So I think, and nobody just wants to wait. Nobody wants to wait. They just want to jump the gun, guys. Patience, of course. Patience is the key virtue in such things. It's very important, and of course, your support is going to be the most important thing. So once again, I cannot stress this enough. Make sure you follow their socials. You know what? Maybe if we hit certain number, I might actually go bald as well. So just to add some extra flavor in there. But also at the same time, there are questions coming in about different regions. Like, of course, Danny's there asking if he's from Spain, and you got Jorge asking if you're from Portugal. I believe there are open qualifiers as well, right? There are open qualifiers that are there for the championship, and I think you got to take part in the tournaments, guys. You got to take part in these tournaments to make sure you get the slots into moving in towards the European Championship. How do you do that? Again, join the Discord.
Sorry, Kronos.
No,
I just want to add, like, we already approach some federations. Like if you are talking about Spain, if you are talking, I saw Portugal's there. So we already approached some of the federation, and we asked them to get more experience for you guys. Go to the qualifiers. Like I can't emphasize any more than I'm doing right now. Like what most of the people need is experience. And sometimes when you are the best in your nation, doesn't mean that you are the best in the Europe. And then there may be some teams that will really give you a good experience. So, and also, if I can, I saw some questions. Maybe to just clear it up, like MPL is a pure product of Moonton.
Moonton, yep.
So if MPL is ever going to come to Europe, then it's not a third-party tournament. And that's why, as a lot of people mention, there are other tournaments, leagues, and everything that it's not directly hosted by Moonton.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I think that pretty much covers almost all the questions that's there. We can't really cover all of them. But what about top 4 from last season? That's a question that was asked. But I think...
I don't understand the question, because from where?
I think this probably coming in from the MESL, if I'm not wrong, and the MEE tournament that happened previously. So with the merger, maybe that's a question that's what they're trying to address. I'm not sure, but of course they definitely will have answers for it, guys. If not now, of course later as well. So that's why join the Discord. I can't stress it enough. Join the Discord.
Yep, join the Discord, join our socials. They're talking about Bird, they're playing our tournaments. They ended up on top 3 in some of the qualifiers. So yeah, I mean, we have a lot of Spanish teams. I don't know if Spain has league. I don't think so, and it's a pity they don't have one. So I don't know what else to say about that.
Things will happen. Things will happen in the meantime. And I think we're almost hitting 50 likes. For, I believe if we hit 50 likes, we'll probably do diamond giveaways. Again, if you want to take part in those giveaways, make sure you join the socials, of course, guys. And apart from that, I think we covered every single thing that happened, of course, that we wanted to. Unless you guys have anything else to say, of course, on Andre and Yaroslav. So the floor is yours.
I just want to thank you, Kronos, for
Please, it's an honor. It's an
taking
honor.
the role of a host.
It's an
And
honor.
I
I'm
would
honored.
also like to thank all the people that were watching, and Andre, that he went on this crazy journey with me. So we are still at the like I said, like I see that this roller coaster is not even rolling right now.
Yeah. I think Yaroslav said it well. Shout out to everyone watching. Shout out to everyone working in the structure, for the employees, for the casters, content creators, for you, Yaro, for all the players and fans. I think we all have one goal in common, and if we keep rolling and we keep engaged like this, we can achieve big things. We can compete with Asia, and we can make MLBB big in the Europe. So let's go, and thank you for all the support.
Well, hey, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we've been here yapping here for about an hour and a half. I think Andre's kind of tired. You can see Yaro's tired, so am I. On that note, make sure, once again, join the Discord, follow the socials. This went on a little longer than we expected, but of course, we will see you there next time. So make sure you're there. And hey, this is Kronos, the host for the interview with the founders of Surge Europe. Of course, the eye of the storm. That's where we want to be, bringing Europe together. Andre, as well as Yaroslav, thank you so much, guys. It was an absolute honor. It's been a pleasure to be your host. And of course, a big shout out to Cage as well, behind the scenes, just bringing in the production crew, so making sure he gets a little bit of a shout out as well. Otherwise, he'll be crying about it later. You never know. So have a good night, guys. Stay tuned.
Have a good night. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Stranded in the open,